Hello dear traders, welcome to IC Markets. You are watching weekly market overview. Let's start. The US dollar slightly weakened against major currencies last week. The only exception was the Japanese yen that lost 1% against the dollar. However, the US dollar index lost 0.5%. The highest growth was shown by the British pound and the Australian dollar, up by 1.5% and 1.2% respectively. The Swiss franc and the euro gained 0.6% each. The Canadian dollar gained only 0.2%. In general, last week was calm. The key event was the testimony of the Fed chairman Ben Bernanke to the parliament. He said that the adaptive nature of the monetary policy and low interest rates will prevail for the foreseeable future. However, Mr. Chairman didn't rule out the possibility of reducing the quantitative easing program this autumn. Now, all the attention will be compelled on the statistics from the labor market, on economic growth and inflation. If the situation keeps on improving, which is our base scenario, then in September or October, reduction of incentives can be expected. The next key data will be released only in 2 weeks, including the preliminary assessment of GDP growth in the second quarter. Also, on July 31, the meeting of the Fed will be held, and on August 2nd, data on employment will be released. As for the current week, on Wednesday, we are waiting for the release of second quarter inflation data in Australia. On the same day, July PMI indices for the Eurozone will be published. On Thursday, the UK GDP growth estimate for the second quarter will be released, and on Friday, June statistics for inflation in Japan. In general, market participants expect a slight improvement of all indicators. In this regard, the European currencies can still potentially gain more against the dollar, but probably not for long. According to the latest data of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, spot market participants keep net short positions on all major currencies against the US dollar. The yen, the Australian dollar and the euro are leaders in the absolute value of net short positions. Last week, only the European currency and the Canadian dollar could slightly reduce the amount of short positions. Overall, indicators show positive medium-term expectations for the US dollar, which coincides with our expectations. As for the short-term picture, the positioning for the greenback still looks vulnerable. As we mentioned in the previous overview, indicators managed to turn against the dollar and are in no hurry to go back. All in all, technical signal confirmed. Despite we have not seen a sharp fall of the dollar, negative to neutral mood prevailed during the past week. Now, the euro-dollar remains locked in the range of 1.30 to 1.32, testing its upper limit. For the pair dollar-franc, the story is similar, the range of 0.9380 to 0.9510, and attempts to go below support at 0.9370 to 0.9380. The British pound has successfully broken the height of 1.52 and is now trying to gain ground above it, approaching the resistance area of 1.5285 to 1.5300. Meanwhile, the dollar yen is consolidating around 100, probably preparing to resume growth and forming a trend continuation pattern. We still hold to the idea of a medium-term strengthening of the US dollar, especially against the European currencies and the Japanese yen, to a lesser extent against the Canadian and Australian dollar. However, during the next week, before the release of the key statistics from the States and the Fed meeting, the motion may be directed against the greenback. We will follow the data from the Eurozone and the UK. Technically, both the euro and the pound are still able to continue to move higher in the short term. You are watching Weekly Market Overview by IFC Markets. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us every Tuesday. Goodbye.